The reality is, sometimes we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Let me give you an example. World peace. Do you see the light at the end of that tunnel? A time where there will be peace in this world. World peace. Do you see the light at the end of the tunnel, that the leaders of this world will work together for the betterment of all the world? Do you see the light at the end of that tunnel? Oh, how about the different political parties in this country working together cooperatively for the betterment of the people of this country? Do you see the light at the end of that tunnel? The reality is, sometimes we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if it isn't just world issues, maybe we just don't see the light at the end of our own tunnels sometimes. I know when I was going through chemotherapy, I didn't see the light at the end of that tunnel. I was sick, really sick. In fact, they put together a cocktail of 8 different anti-nausea prescriptions to try to keep me from being so sick. A cocktail of 8 different anti-nausea prescriptions to try to keep me from being sick. It didn't work. There are times I would be laying there in bed at night and I just felt so sick. But I knew on my nightstand was my favorite drug. Incredibly addictive, but it was kind of effective. And I knew if I could just get that teeny little pill under my tongue and have it dissolve, it would help. But to do that, I would have to turn on the light by my bed. And when you're doing chemotherapy is not even comparable to a migraine headache. And the idea of turning on that bedside lamp and the searing pain that light would cause me, a flashlight solved that problem. Having a flashlight right where I could see it. And then I would turn my flashlight on and I'd look for that little pill and I'd put it under my tongue and shut off the light. Kind of worked. But I learned something. It's what I'm hoping you will take home with you today. For me, the flashlight became the hope when I wasn't seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. The flashlight for me became the hope when I wasn't seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It helped me to keep going because there were times where I was just lying there wishing I would just die, not wanting to go on anymore. And yet, that hope helped me to persevere. I didn't know when I was going to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but that hope helped me to believe that light was still there. To keep on going, to keep persevering, to do like Jesus said in today's gospel, to watch. As we hear in the Gospel of Mark chapter 13, verse 33, Jesus said to his disciples, be watchful, be alert. You do not know when the time will come. You don't know when you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But don't give up. Don't close your eyes and pray to die, but keep your eyes open. Take out that flashlight of hope and keep looking and persevering. Be watchful. Be alert. That hope will be coming, even if you're not seeing it. That's why I love in St. Paul's letter to the Romans, chapter 26, he said something very confusing. And hope we have been saved. But hope that is seen is not hope. For who hopes for what they can already see? We hope for something we have not yet seen, and we wait for it with perseverance. In certain ways, we are weak, but the Spirit is here to help us. We're hoping for something that we're not seeing. We may not be seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but we're still hoping for it because maybe all we're seeing is darkness. Maybe all we're seeing is wars and violence. Maybe all we're seeing is fighting, but then we're still not giving up on that hope. That light, that flashlight that helps us to keep moving forward. Because we may not see it, but hope helps us to recognize we know it's coming. I mean, what are we celebrating right now? The season of Advent. And notice what Advent's about. It's getting darker outside a lot, isn't it? And yet, we light that candle. We bring that light into the darkness. We may not see yet, but we know Christmas is coming. We know that the Lord is being born into the world. We have this hope that will help us to navigate this darkness. As St. Paul said in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 7 and 8, you are not lacking in any spiritual gift that as you wait for the revelation of our Lord Jesus Christ, He will keep you firm to the end. Where do you think this hope comes from? The Spirit of the Lord gives us this hope to each and every one of us, gives us this flashlight in the darkness so that we can keep going, gives us this hope so that it will direct us to what? What do you think is the light at the end of the tunnel? Jesus. Jesus is the light at the end of the tunnel. This hope will guide us to see Jesus. When? Well, Jesus says you don't know when, but don't give up hope because someday you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. I know that when my grandmother lay there dying from cancer, and she had been unconscious, and my mother was praying the rosary by the side of her bed, Grandma woke up. She even sat up. She said, the light. And my mother said, go to it. You've heard it, haven't you? The ultimate light at the end of the tunnel. The ultimate light at the end of the tunnel. That hope that even if we're not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel here, God promises us, Jesus says, I am that light. I'm the light of the world, and you will see me, that light, as we see that ultimate light at the end of the tunnel. So as we gather together during this season of Advent, you know what we need to do? We need to encourage people. But because there's a lot of people right now, they're not so celebrating this holiday season. Because there is darkness in their lives. Maybe the death of a loved one through cancer. This can be their first Christmas without him. Where's the light at the end of their tunnel? Maybe people who are struggling with transitions and changes in their life that are out of their control. Where's the light at their end of the tunnel? You know what? We can be that light. We can bring them the hope. We can bring them the love. That's why I love in our Advent book the reflection that Ginny Mitchke wrote for today. She says in there, I must be alert to what is going on around me. Where is there a need? Where do we need to take this flashlight of hope and help others get through the darkness? Where do we need to maybe even get another flashlight and share it with others so that they too can get through the darkness? Where is there a need right here, right now, to help bring hope to people, to help them get through their darkness? Hope. Hope is the flashlight that helps us to keep going even when we don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.